What is up, Facebook Live again and again and again and again and again? Yes, this is random. I'm your host, Dedrin. There's never a dull moment when it comes to Facebook Live and doing a two-person broadcast and everything. So, it is what it is. So, thank you guys for bearing with me. It is what it is. This is the future of what is going on in the world today, but I'm glad that I could be here to provide you guys with content. Let's see if we can bring Jon Brunson on, the man of the hour. So let's get this thing rolling. All right, here we go. Let's go. Oh man, this is funny. This is like something out of Christmas or something like that. It's pretty funny. Um, so there we go. Finally. Yeah, can you hear me, John?
Yeah, man. I can hear you perfectly. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, buddy.
I always do with
Thank you,
these
G.
issues. Yes, I always deal with these issues when it comes to Facebook Live and the two-person broadcast. It's just like, oh God, like really. But no, thank you guys for tuning in and everything. This interview segment is kind of impromptu. You messaged me this morning.
Very much.
Just to give you guys a quick synopsis of what happened, what transpired. He messaged me this morning of some information we're going to go into later on in this interview, and I got the message. And I looked. I was like, wait a minute, why don't we go live? So he's like, yeah, let's go live, and it's like, yeah, let's go 2:00. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. So before we went live, we didn't realize it, but the last time I interviewed you, John, was on October 4th. On a Thursday at 2 p.m.
On a Thursday. So we get to do this twice, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Once, 2017, and now Uno in 2018. It's exciting.
It's
an exciting time.
It's funny because you were my first interview to do this two-person broadcast in 2017, and now you're my first interview doing it in 2018. So this is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's definitely love. And I'm seeing a lot of people watching right now, joining in. I truly appreciate everybody. Actually, I'm seeing that one of the guys that's watching is actually he's going to be a part of the film production. His name is Alex Lugo. What's going on, Alex? Ayada, what's going on? Reese, what's going on? Stephanie, how you doing? What's going on? Chadwick, everybody that's joining in right now, welcome. It's that time, people.
That's what it is. John, man, we got it. So much has happened since the last interview, man. You were just promoting oh my God.
Dissolve the game.
Yes, Dissolve, the game of truth. You were promoting that, and now tell the people what's transpired, the accolades you've received.
2017 was very much an eye-opener. For those of you that don't know, back in November of 2016, I took it upon myself to purchase all of my own equipment. And, I talked to a lot of people, and I was really excited about this little project that I wrote called Dissolved, which evolved into Dissolve the Game of Truth. And ultimately, I put myself in a position where if it's going to get done, it's going to get done. And if no one else is willing to do it, then I'll be the one to do it. And sure enough, from November 2016 to April 1st at 3 a.m. 2017, I got to wrap production on Dissolve the Game of Truth. Later into maybe mid-August to late August, I received the final copy. And ladies and gentlemen, since the final copy has been given to me, I have submitted it to over 15 film festivals. It's been accepted at 2. Nice. One of which is the New York City International Film Festival. The next is the Mako Project Online Film Festival in New Jersey, in which it took second for Best Feature Film over 60 minutes. So who would have thought that someone's first attempt and being told how much he cannot do what this is here could lead him to receiving such a certificate like this
Nice.
one here. Mako
Congratulations,
Project
man.
for Dissolve a Game of Truth. So now you are talking to, ironically, a dream chaser and an award winner. So what better way to cap off the year knowing that I'm also going to get distribution for Dissolve the Game of
Okay.
Truth, but to go round two, which brings us here today, which is Radio Silence.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So now that you've mentioned radio silence, and I know we've had discussions about it. You actually reached out to me when I was working for an internet radio station because it just fit.
Yes.
It was like internet radio. You have this, radio silence is like, okay, there's just something, there's something there. We don't know what it is, but there's just something there.
It's brewing.
Yeah, it's brewing. So tell us the big news behind radio silence that you have. You messaged me about. I kept it under wraps.
Yes. No. All right. So obviously, with writing a project known as Radio Silence, you go in one of two directions: one genre and two radio station. The genre for this is a bit of a dramatic thriller. It's a different. It's a different form of thriller because it has a little bit more drama, but a splash of everything else. But ideally, what I needed to do was I needed to secure a public radio station, which is the hardest thing to do if you're trying to make a movie, especially when you're trying to do it and you're more of an up-and-comer than you are someone that's fully established with a highly credible resume.
Yes.
So I did speak with a very popular radio station in Wisconsin. It is 95 Will Rock, and 95 Will Rock is going to work with B Team Productions to make Radio Silence. So once everything was given the A-OK, the next phase was easy. The casting call. And that casting call is happening. It is 24 hours away, people, January 5th, 6th, and 7th. Now, for some of you that had a chance to watch Dissolve the Game of Truth, you may have noticed a nice, beautiful diner area that was utilized in a portion of the movie as a flashback scene. And Amir Bloom is the banquet coordinator for Bella Via Ristorante, and he was very, very kind enough to let me utilize the space again. So the casting call for Radio Silence will be held at Bella Via Ristorante at 1899 2nd Street, Highland Park, Illinois, from noon to 7 p.m. That is Friday, tomorrow, and Saturday. Okay, now Sunday is a little different because Sunday they work different hours. So the place will not be available to me until about 2 p.m. So we will start the casting call at 3 p.m. at Bella Via to 7 p.m. And then from noon to 2, we will be at, I believe it's 1945 Willow Street. It's a very high-end Dunkin' Donuts. They have a very nice meeting room that has, it's pretty spacious. But, I've already utilized and booked ahead of time. So I already have that space from noon to 2 p.m. And then from there, you guys come over to Bella Via and we will take care of everything else.
Man, I am actually proud for you. Not saying that I wasn't proud for you before, but just to see.
No, you weren't proud before. You're like, yeah, I'm proud of you. Like, no, I wasn't proud of you before. But, I'm proud of you today. Today, not yesterday. I didn't like your ass. No.
I know. It's like, what? But no, it's amazing to see since the last time I interviewed you, and, we were talking about the
Game remember, look, last time. Look at this. Last time I didn't have a beard, people.
I know.
I think I was, clean-faced the last time I did this, man.
I think I still had this. I think I didn't. Yeah, because I just shaved my beard and everything, so everything just whoosh, and everything. But no, I commend you for just the strides, the commitment, the determination. After doing Dissolve Game of Truth, that after that in 2 months since our last literally 2 months to have this accomplishment, these accolades and everything. I commend you. For those of you who are watching. This is one of the reasons why I do interviews like this on Facebook, so you guys, whatever industry you're in, can be motivated that, if you didn't see the first interview I did with him, it's on my YouTube channel. I'll send you the link and everything.
Yes,
Um,
please, 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 guys, watch it.
watch it. He overcame so many obstacles to get this project done and to hear the things that he's accomplished. And now he's going into his second phase with this, radio silence. Hey, there's a lot of principles here to, sorry about that. I just hit the table. There's a lot of principles to learn from this. So, I mean, what are some of the things that you, after doing Dissolve, Game of Truth, that and receiving those accolades, what were some of the things that just went through your head as far as lessons that you learned that it took you to another level?
Well, it's interesting to say lessons because more so it's just clarification.
Okay.
For those of you who, look into getting to the entertainment industry, there's two or three different ways that you're going to do it. You're going to do it the corporate way, you're going to do it through SAG, and you're going to get SAG roles and speaking parts, and that's kind of where everybody wants to be because that's where the big payout is. That is, of course, where my dream is. But, for me, I'm happy to start at the bottom just to be able to build the credibility and, not just the credibility, but show a substantial resume of growth and climb. So, from the corporate side, then there's kind of the mid-level where you kind of know somebody and you network your way in. But then the $1 million question is, can you perform? And then there's, when you're super hungry and you're not getting the chance to do the corporate and, you may network, but you don't feel comfortable just kind of being a shoe-in to get inside the game. So the next thing is you kind of build your way into the game and you kind of kick down that door and you utilize, you pull resources and you reach out to people, you talk to people, and you see what comes of it. When I did Dissolved, that's kind of how it started, but it was easier because I had my home, and since I centered the story around a certain look of the home, it fit. So I didn't have to go far for locations. And then, as I worked with more of my cast members, then we were securing more locations and more locations. And, I reached out to people and then I got more locations and so on and so forth. But I think I was a little overzealous when it came to, operating the camera, but that's because, again, when you talk to someone and someone is so interested in wanting to be a part of this project because they see the potential, and then you say, okay, now it's time to start this project, and all of a sudden you turn around and they're gone.
Yeah.
That was the killer for me. So ultimately, if this was going to be done, I knew I had to do it myself. So what have I learned within the time frame of Dissolved to now? In terms of, I will go back to it. So in terms of lessons, one, don't get ahead of yourself. There was a moment where, I was filming some of the darker stuff into the basement.
Okay.
And being a horror movie enthusiast, it's interesting to love the genre, see the way it's filmed, write it, and then you actually have to film it yourself. I was stuck.
Yeah.
I was a complete deer in headlights. But at the same time, I now see how I work. I'm a visual person. Everything that I've done has been in a visual form of training, whether seeing someone on TV, hearing someone in person, going home, listening, practicing, honing it, and then tomorrow producing it. That's how I've learned to dance. That's how I've increased my singing ability. That's how I've increased my acting ability, is seeing and taking mental notes. So when I made Dissolved, a lot of what I built was on a simplistic form of seeing what I wanted to do and visually being able to piece it step by step. My mind was my storyboard. My mind was my shot list. My mind was everything. So in radio silence, it's going to be a little bit different because I am kind of working through some of the paperwork. However, I'm still very visually enhanced to push what I'm looking for to do in this project. So am I going to be operating the camera? Yes, until someone, who wants to believe in the story wants to come in. Yes, but however, I have messed with my camera more. So, if any little things that are going to happen now are going to be very minute in comparison. It's not going to have a full effect of the story, which means everything is going to be crystal clear, people, like you see right now. Yeah. Two, one of my biggest hurdles with trying to make the movie was having great audio, because if you don't have the right glass, sometimes that can surpass if you have the best audio. So since I realized that there were some technical things that I could have tweaked better, it went back to having the best microphones. I now have 4 microphones, 2 very strong brands that will be used as boom mics. I have my own boom pole now, and 2 I actually have attached to my cameras. So now there's no reason why the audio can't be captured in full form.
Okay.
And then having such a public and notable and reputable radio station behind me and giving me that support and helping me make this film by allowing me to utilize their space for 3 months, people, not just a day, not just 2 days, for 3 flipping months.
Wow.
That's going to help everything. That's going to really
Wow.
help paint the picture of what radio silence is, which means now you're going to see the real life of it, and you're going to be able to get a feel for every movement through the sound and through the visual. Like, I'm very, very, very in tune to what I have to do, because this project is much bigger than Dissolved.
Okay. My next question, I can hear the growth from our last interview, where it's just you're at another level. I think all of us are at another level since we got into 2018.
Yeah.
But as a whole, from your experience doing Dissolved, Game of Truth, and now you're doing, Radio Silence, there's that sense of comfort, but not complacency, where you're comfortable as far as, okay, I got enough. Now I'm more knowledgeable of what, my surroundings, but at the same time, it's like I still got to be on my A game. I can't just be, oh, well, I know this. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna do this, and it's,
Big and Rich, what's going on, man? Yeah, my boy, the big guy, he's on right now.
Cool.
Just had to give some love.
So,
but yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, some people fall into the trap. They obtain a little bit of success, and then they kind of repeat the same thing that they did before, not realizing you just repeated the same thing. You can't be complacent. Like, you can be comfortable with what you're doing, but you can't be complacent with the process and the methods that you use to produce a product. Make sense?
Exactly. So, and I hear you completely, because I think once the trailer came out for Dissolve, that was almost the feeling that I was at, because I didn't know I knew what I wanted to do as my next step was going to be to make another movie. I didn't know, however, how soon that was going to be. So
Okay.
I felt that with this growing success for Dissolved, well, let me put some feelers out here and let's see what comes of it. I could potentially do this movie in 2018. I may be able to do this movie 2019. I mean, you never really know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when I started Dissolved, I was ready. I was so ready. I was ready. You know that kid that's watching the clock in the classroom and they don't want to listen to the teacher anymore, and you got like kid. 5 more minutes until it's time for you to leave, and you're just like, oh my God, like, where's the time? That's kind of how I felt making Dissolve. However, it was a slap in the face, because it was a big dose of reality. That just because you want it, it doesn't necessarily mean you're ready for it. But I still grabbed it by the horns and I rode the life out of it. And that's why I was able to achieve what's being achieved now, because I was willing to take a risk to do something different. I was willing to take a chance to be different. I was willing to put myself out there to showcase something completely flippin' different. And now I'm reaping from that.
Nice.
That's the greatest feeling in the world. So the next push is, what can you do to the next film? What are you going to bring to the next film? So I'm extensively looking at camera angles. That's my big thing right now, is I'm looking at every different camera angle to utilize. You mentioned that, from the last time we talked to now, it's being on another level. You have to be on another level, because if you want to succeed, you have to be able to showcase a platform of growth. Yeah. If I was just to look in this camera and say I'm an actor, well, guess what? I'm just a guy saying I'm an actor down here. But what am I going to show gradually
Yeah.
to prove that I'm an actor. So what happened in 2016, people? I showed you not one, not two, but three commercials that I was in. That's my growth. What did I do from there? I was in a movie, and when I was able to get footage, I posted the footage up so you guys can see it. And if I didn't, I made sure that it was recognized, and probably sent some stuff privately or shown you things privately.
Hmm.
That's growth. So from Dissolved, I started off here. I was more of just a kid in a candy store, just excited to get my hands on a camera and really do this and really make a movie. Now I actually have something of substance, of the fullest potential in my hand, in my property, on my lap, all taken care of. So now the next level up is, what have I learned from that film that I'm going to bring to this film? So the hunger is still there. And when you're hungry, the creativity is going to come out in the fullest of forms. It's going to come out in colors and lights and movement. It's going to come out when the actors are on set. It's going to come out when you're on set. But it's more than that. It's taking a step back and almost seeing everything as a blueprint and piecing it, bit by bit, because that's how I like to build upon my story. That's how I like to work with actors. That's how I like to create the feel. That's how I like to showcase a story. I'm on a whim, so I can have something written down and I'll turn around and maybe tell you to cut out these lines or cut out that whole part completely, and we're going to do this again. You're going to get thrown off by it, but we're also going to take the time for you to be comfortable in delivering in that way, so it doesn't feel like you're a deer in headlights reading off a cue card. Like, yes,
Yeah.
Adam, I will go to the store. Like, it's not going to be like
Exactly.
that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, you have to be ready. And I'm looking at you guys right now. Every single one of you watching this, please believe me when I tell you, get ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I truly commend you um on everything that you've accomplished. Listening to you talk, and by listening to your words and how you're articulating your passion, film directing, your vision and everything, I hear the growth. Like I mean, we haven't seen each other since what? Um, my radio show?
Since the
Yeah,
second time I came on a radio show. Absolutely.
yeah.
And that was
So, I
what,
mean,
2014? Yeah, that was like
2016,
2014. Was it
2016.
2016?
Yeah, in June. Yeah, June
Yes, you're
2016.
right. You're right. It was
So,
2016.
so for those of you who are watching, this isn't like, oh, we communicate all the time. We see each other. Hey, what's up, man? No, there's
Yeah, there are gaps. There are gaps.
gaps
It's I
like
mean, you
this.
see now I flubbed on the year.
Yeah. Um, but to hear the growth and everything, man, I commend you for it. I know that the process, the I don't want to say tribulations. I would say the obstacles that were disguised as opportunities, you realized them, you seen them for what they worth. You didn't get discouraged. At times you could have gotten discouraged. And I remember the phone calls and everything, and I was just telling you,
Yeah.
hey, just be level-headed. Cooler heads prevail. Think long-term. Think,
Amen.
maintain your vision and everything. Man, what advice do you have? Um, you've overcome everything from the production aspect of Dissolved and everything. Um, you've received these accolades. What advice do you have for someone that's just starting out for directing, or more so just in life in general, that they had this passion to bring about this dream that they've had in his heart, their mind, they just never knew how to articulate it. You've articulated your vision, your dream and everything, and you're seeing the fruits from it. What advice do you have for those people that are tuning in that might be in that, phase of like, okay, I don't know what do I do? Who do I talk to? I mean, you've gone through the process and you've overcome. What advice do you got?
All right. Well, um, no, this is something you really have to think about,
Yeah.
because I think the last time you've asked me this several times, and I feel like my answer changes.
Yeah,
It kind of goes on the same path, but it changes a bit.
yeah.
Um, when you wake up in the morning, do you feel in your gut that there's something you're meant to do? And then when you go outside into the world, Do you find yourself doing it, like little by little? If the answer is yes, then you go into two different avenues. You go the full educational route, which is schooling, graduating, certifications, learning from the teachers, and doing it by the textbook. Or you see sounds, you notice colors, you feel it, and somehow it just clicks enough in your mind and heart to do it. Whatever the situation is, whatever your passion is, don't frickin' deny it. You either go to school for it, or if you are just natural and you have a knack for it and it just comes to you easily and it's not something that you can feel you learn from a textbook, and even if you pick up a textbook and you find yourself bored and you don't want to read that textbook anymore, do it. There are so many people. I am the living proof right now. I'm not saying that I'm on top of the world. I'm not saying that I'm signed with some big film company, and even if I was, you would still get the same person out of me. I'm telling you that all I did was turn on a TV and watch. And I watched, and then I mimicked. And then I watched, and then I mimicked, and I performed. Then I watch, mimic, performed, and learn. Then I watch, mimic, perform, and learn, and watch again. And I do the same steps again. And then when I go to school and I learn from the teachers, I read from the textbook, even if I'm bored, I do my best to pass just at probably a minimum standard, unless it's an area of acting or music or something that I knew was for me. And I still took all of that knowledge and put it all together in my big old creative mind and made something of it. While everybody else would look at me and tell me, who the hell do you think you are? You're not going to make it in this industry. You're a nobody. Nobody's going to want you. Nobody's going to like you. To me, walking into audition rooms, speaking from a script, and surprising people with not only my presence, but my ability to talk and my ability to perform. And I was able to do these things. And people, I did these things without going to college, by just watching movies, by watching lots of television. Yes, you can make fun of people who watch television, but those who are creatives, we see beyond what you watch, and we piece it and dissect it bit by bit, and we learn through how we break the items apart. Now, when I watch a movie, I don't watch a movie for the sense of entertainment. I watch it for the cinematography. I watch it for the actor chemistry. I watch it for scene by scene. I watch it for growth. I watch it for climax. I watch it from beginning to end just to get a feel for how this film was made. And now I see when people rush, and I see when people drop, and I see when people flub, and I see when people get creative. And it's all these things that I see because I've been blessed with this ability to dissect and be able to utilize these parts of my brain to create my own. So I'm looking at you, hungry artists, singer trying to find their way, actor trying to find their way, dancer trying to find their way, any part of an entertainer trying to find their way, non-entertainment people trying to find their way. Get up, watch, learn, store it, do it.
Man,
that's it.
That's powerful. That's powerful, man. Wow. And I totally agree with you. As you mentioned, as far as when you watch, like in your case, like being a film director, you see movies differently. In my case, being a social media consultant and content creator, people look at me like,
and he's one of the best guys. Just I don't mean to interrupt him, but Adrian is a very heartfelt person. If he offers you something of that degree, please do not second guess it. Do not doubt the man. The man definitely knows what he's doing, and he knows he can do the job. I trust him enough, and he trusts me enough because I've been his first 3 times, ladies and gentlemen. I was his first in-house radio segment random guy, guest interview, special guest interviewer. I was the first Facebook Live performer to random, and I am now the first in 2018 for this man. He is the absolute best.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's funny because people ask me like, man, what content do you watch? And I'm like, it's on YouTube. YouTube? Like, what? I'm like, You know, there's more to YouTube than cat videos and dog videos and people slipping and falling and stuff like that. Like, there's quality, valuable stuff
Yeah.
on there. So I mean,
Well,
I totally.
here's a fun fact. I was once told that the camera that I purchased was a piece of garbage that cannot produce cinematic quality. The same way that I learned to filmmake is the same way that I had to treat the very person who told me this, because I found so many different videos and vignettes and segments and pieces and all this stuff by the research on YouTube and on Vimeo and on all of these internet platforms and brackets and sites. I was able to find all this stuff to showcase. I was able to send links for proof. Like,
Hmm.
you're absolutely right. There's more than just edited videos of somebody saying the
Yeah,
dumbest stuff or seeing animals, play, the piano, or,
yeah,
run around and get facial expressions, or to see babies laughing. I mean, I love babies laughing. Come
yeah.
on.
That's
But I
funny.
mean, at the same time, like there's so much more to the platform and technology than just what you choose to see. And if you really want to learn to do this, you don't have to go to school anymore. Now they're teaching master classes as we're doing this interview right now. We're not even in the same room together,
Hmm.
people. We're not in the
Yeah,
same room together. You know what I'm saying? And look what technology has done. They have modified a phone, they have updated the cameras, they have spruced up the audio so you can do things like this from the seat of your own home.
yep,
It's all available to you if you take advantage of it.
exactly. There's a quote that I came across from Tony Robbins, and people are like, oh, he's just so motivational and just happy and hey, getting people excited. But he said something that
Yeah.
really changed my mindset on looking at everything in life. And he said, success leaves clues. And that's why when you watch a film, you, that creative side, like you said, that creative side, you see it and you're just like, man, you know what? This is, I guess somebody's seen the Chris Jericho Kenny Omega match or something. Sorry, that's a free advertising for wrestling fans. That was actually a pretty dope match. Um,
Yeah, I am a wrestling fan too. I still need to see that match.
I'll send you the
So,
link. I'll
I,
send you the link. It's a
yeah,
pretty good match. I've seen
please
it
do.
live.
And,
I,
and here, just a side note, just so y'all know, I was watching the special NXT because I love WWE. You can make fun of me for it, people. I don't care. That's just another part of my creative juices when it
yeah.
flows to watch. Even my boy, man, my boy Rich, he's even talking about how amazing that match was. He already
Yes.
knows. But it's amazing. It's amazing what you learn. It's amazing what you can really grasp if you really just pay attention.
Yeah. And I mean, there's things that, what Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues, that like you and I and many other people that are watching that are creative, we look at something, people are like, oh, that's just, simple, this. But for us, we see things, um, beyond that. There was a quote that Tim Grover said that, our world teaches that, if you really want to, change things, look at the man in the mirror. But he's like, you know what? The things that you don't see in the mirror is what you need to change. And a lot of times
Yeah.
when we look at stuff creatively, there's stuff that you don't see that we can put together and everything. And with you, with film, me, I had one person that I was consulting, and they're like, "Hey, so you're gonna break this down?" I was like, "No, let me see your social media." And I just skimmed through their social media, like, "Yeah, you do this." They're like, "How do you do that?" It's like you said, when you have a passion for
Yeah.
it, you study, you see that, man. So, um,
Yeah. I
mhm,
think when people find the things that they love to do, and maybe this is me getting a little far fetched here, but even when I write a script, I see it as a blueprint.
mhm,
So as I build scene by scene and bit by bit, like I find some kind of way to make sure that it all connects. Sometimes it takes, sitting back and being in a peaceful area with nothing bothering you. With me, sometimes it takes music. I wrote my first screenplay and I got stuck for about 2.5 weeks, just writer's block. I couldn't think of anything, and I remember it was about 11 p.m. and I was listening to the Busta Rhymes album. I can't remember which one, but it had Hustler's Anthem on it. I think you know the album I'm talking about.
uh-huh.
But I'm a B-side and album filler guy. So I more
Okay.
so listen to what the artist can do outside of the radio hits. And I found this song. Song is called Decisions. And it's with Common, John Legend, Mary J. Blige, Jamie
Nice.
Foxx. And
Nice.
I listened to that song. And the first line was, I made a decision. And it's like I just could not stop listening to that song. And I would play that song literally on repeat. I still don't know all the words to it. But when I listened to that song, a week later, my script was done. I
Nice.
wrote 298 pages, people, in literally a month. If you add in the 2 weeks of writer's block, little over a month. But I
Yep.
wrote my first script in a month.
That's
Dissolved,
awesome.
I wrote in a day. One day, 24 hours, I wrote 30 pages. Don't know where it came from, but it hit. And when it hit, it stuck. And when it stuck, I was able to utilize it and get from point A to point B to C to D to E to F to G, all the way down to Z, and still have it make sense. Same thing with radio silence. I wrote this script in a month. This script, 107 pages. This script that I look at and I tweak every now and again just because I find little things that I know since my vocabulary has expanded that I try to
Okay.
utilize that in the script so it feels a
Okay.
bit of today. But a lot of what I write is today. A lot of what I write is creative, and it's little things that helps you get through. So all these little things of you wanting to write, there is a way for you to do it. And maybe your outlet to do more is through music, or is through watching movies, or is through watching, infomercial mogul, like a mogul, someone who, everybody laughed at, just like they laugh at us when they tell us, hey,
Yeah.
Didrian, he's going to be a social media consultant. And everybody finds that funny until you start seeing his face everywhere. Jonathan Brunson, oh, this guy's going to be a filmmaker. He's going to be an actor. Yeah, right. And guess what? Now you're going to start seeing my face everywhere. Like it's amazing the things that you can do when you really, really try and you don't let others,
Yep.
decide your fate, and you don't let outside things interrupt your mindset. If you expand your mind, I feel like the most creatives and the passionate ones can generally see their fields through a blueprint. And through a blueprint, you're able to not only take the knowledge you retain, but you're able to take the things that you learn in everyday life and apply it. And that's why you have these child prodigies and, these very, very smart people, and and even the people who just start at the bottom. What I remember, there was a video of a guy homeless who impersonated some people, and
Okay.
someone caught a 20-30 second video of him.
Hmm.
Dirty guy, had nothing but change in the cup, and he made a living for himself. Even today, to where we take people who say the dumbest things during interview news segments, and we make them rich. And I'm pretty sure they took something and found their creative outlet and said, you know what, I'm just going to say this because I bet you if I say it at this time, it's going to be funny. And guess what?
Yep.
Everybody who laughed at them, these people today are now laughing back at you. So this is a time today, people, in 2018, where we have the advantage. We should be supporting one another. We should be helping one another. We should be putting each other on a platform to succeed and seeing that we succeed from beginning to end, no matter what. Now, what you choose to do with it, that's on you. That's your choosing, But for me, for the guy that's been consistently laughed at, because I've told them since I was a little fat kid that I was going to entertain the world and the world was going to know my name or whatever I said that pertained to that road,
Hmm.
and everybody who laughed and everybody that, made comments and everybody that did this and turned their backs and walked away and put me down and cut me down and threw racial slurs at me, all of these things. Thank you guys so much, because all of that went into here, and all of that was stuck in my blueprint, as well as my creative outlet and the wheels that are still turning through whatever ideas that I'm pondering up and coming up with every day. Thank you, because all of that has motivated me to write my scripts, to now to now create from my scripts, to now be able to hold a casting call to look at other hungry performers and want to help them build. That's what we should be doing. So I don't want to preach to you guys, because this really isn't a segment
Yeah.
where I'm trying to preach to you.
But
But what
hey,
I'm trying to tell you is
let it
that
flow.
I am coming from nothing, people. I don't have a dollar to my name, but I'm going to make a second motion picture. It is going to affect the world because it's going to be different, because I am different and I believe in different. And I think what we as people right now need to see and feel is something different, something out of the box. Even if it doesn't make sense, it should not make sense enough to you that you're going to want to watch it again, and you're going to want to dissect it, and you're going to want to piece things together, and you're going to want to rebuild this puzzle and recreate this puzzle and find little nuances of things that you may have missed before that now you're going to see, you know, this time around versus this time around versus this time around versus this time around. Like, we're in a world today where we can do that. So let's do it, people. What is the freaking holdup? Stop laughing at people who want a handout and just give them the handout, because I bet you they already have it in their mind and they already have it written on paper what they can do with that handout, that they can succeed with that small handout. And all you got to do is just give them that support. That's all you got to do. It takes a half a second for you to say, you know what, I'm on your team, and to really put some belief behind it, rather than taking a full second to insult them, another 5 seconds to embarrass them, another 20 seconds to make sure that that embarrassment is now shared and sent and commented on amongst other people. I'm going to do something different.
That's awesome.
Jonathan T. Brunson is going to change the filmmaking game. How? God knows. Why? God knows. But how do I believe it? Because I know.
Love it. Love it. Jon, give us the information for the casting call for Radio Silence, the location, time, and dates and everything. So the people who are interested and are hooked, line, and sinker, and who've been watching this terrific segment we've had here, you know, give them the information.
Well, I hope I didn't talk your ears off too much, people.
Nah.
So I'm very, very, very excited. Radio Silence is the second feature from B Team Productions, my company. It is going to be held at Bella Via Ristorante, 1899 2nd Street, Highland Park, Illinois. We will be there from 12 noon, starting January 5th, tomorrow, to Saturday, January 6th. We will be there from 12 noon to 7 p.m. Sunday, January 7th, however, we will be at two places. We will be at 1945 Willow Road. It is a Dunkin' Donuts, a very nice and upscale, modern-looking Dunkin' Donuts, mind you, from noon to 2 p.m. And then from 2 p.m. on, we will be at Bella Via from 3 p.m., I'm so sorry, to 7 p.m. If you would like to view the trailer for the upcoming release, Dissolve the Game of Truth, you can view it on Facebook at facebook.com/dissolvedgot2016. So that's all one word. That's DISSOLVEDGOT 2016. And if you would like to learn more information, or if you want to secure a time for the casting call for Radio Silence, you can do that on the Radio Silence page, which is also on Facebook. That is facebook.com/Radio Silence OFF. And all you got to do is just look up the information. You can click on the event. You can go ahead and either just comment that you're going to be there at a time. You can comment to me to shut up. I'll read it. I'll laugh at it, and I'll still keep going, because guess what? The casting call is still happening. Or you can comment, hey, what do I need? Which I believe there are things posted already on the event page. All I need for people to bring: 1, your hunger. Be ready to give 150%. 2, bring a hard copy, headshot, and resume. There will be paperwork that needs to be filled out, very simple stuff. And then 3, you perform. Sides will be on site. Now, this is a cold read process, people. Why is it a cold read process? And I'm sure many of you hate the cold read idea, but here's what the cold read does. The cold read shows what you can do under the pressure of knowing very little and having X amount of time to do so. You show me that you can handle the pressure, you're going to be involved. So that's why what I'm going to do with this is a cold read process, because I need to see what can be done with very little. If you come in prepared, I will love you just as much for it. However, the cold read will really get my attention, because adaptability is key. Your passion is key. But I look for someone who's ready and willing to be different. So if that's you, and I pray that it's you, I hope to see you guys starting tomorrow, January 5th, through the weekend.
Man, John, thank you so much for this time. Man, it's only been 40 minutes or so that we've been talking.
This
It's
is
felt like,
crazy. It doesn't even feel like, I feel like it's been 20.
yeah. But man, John, thank you so much for doing this. Everyone, please go support, go like the Facebook page, follow this man on Instagram, Twitter. Um, these are the people you need to follow, not people that are shooting Facebook Live videos doing goofy stuff that provides no value or anything. So follow this man, follow what he's doing. Man, it's quality. Man, I commend you for the growth from our last interview to now.
Thank you.
Man, keep doing it, man. You're inspiring me. I've made changes going into this year where people are like, man, you're just on you're on a stratosphere. Like, you're not even on a planet. You're just on a stratosphere. And
You
those
know
are
what,
the people.
Deidre?
Mhm.
I want to say personally, man, thank you. You were one of the guys to, look past everything that I'm sure you may have heard, and you gave me a chance to just talk to you, just to be able to have a conversation. And from that conversation, of meeting at a potential location for the film that I was working on at that time, ironically, Radio Silence. But you saw something in me enough to put me on your radio show at your rise, at your stepping stone to say, I want to be a radio host and I want to bring something different to the table. So I sincerely from the heart, thank you. You have given me a chance to be your first interview for so many different things at so many opportune time.
Same day and
That
same time.
I'm blessed, man. It's exactly, it's
Yeah,
at the random times, at the most random
yeah,
times, but
yeah.
really, for seeing through the heart of me and really wanting to give me a chance and wanting to give others, who are hungry as me a chance. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, this man is selfless in the things that he does. He really wants to help build us hungry artists, the starving artist who's trying so hard just to put the foot in between the door, not just kick down the door, not just foot in the door, but just keeping the door cracked enough to peek through. This guy is willing to do this. So, I mean, truly, I've had such an honor being spoken to by this man and doing segments with him, and he really, really is a great guy. So, Deidre, again, I I can't thank you enough. The passion and everything that comes from me, I know it also stems from you. So
Thank you.
I'm honored, man. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I know because you like a lot of my quotes and picture quotes that
You got them
uh,
quotes. You got them quotes.
I know. People are like, dude, you come up with, it's like, look, man, you're supposed to add value on social media if you're doing something creative and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But man, John, thank you
Yeah.
so much for this. This has been a very, very random day. Um, I can't tell you. When I received your message, I was watching the main event of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 12. It was Okada and
Okay.
the other guy. So I seen it. I was like, oh, I'm going to check it out later. And I was watching it live because the time difference from here to Japan is what, like 8, 10 hours or something like that. It's
Yeah,
almost
don't ask me that.
but
That's
it's
random. That's
yeah,
random.
but it's a huge time difference. So I was just like, oh man, I'm watching this live, and then I checked. I was like, yeah, and so folks, those of you who are watching, this wasn't planned like weeks in
Not
advance.
at
This
all.
was literally planned like hours.
Yep.
I messaged them
No,
like, hey, I messaged them like,
nothing
yeah,
written down.
let me put the flyer
All from
together
the
and
heart.
then boom, put it up there. But man, this has been a really good segment and everything, man. We've got a lot of views and everything. So John, thank you so much. Um, Again, I know this won't be the last segment we have like this.
Definitely won't
Um,
be. Definitely
no,
won't be.
it won't. Thank you so much for being on and sharing with everyone the casting call that you are having. Folks, if you didn't get the information, watch this video again. It's going to be on his Facebook timeline and my Facebook timeline. Also, this
Yes.
video will be uploaded on my YouTube channel later on today and everything, and it'll be on my website and everything. So for all those,
Yes, and make sure you watch it. One more time, everybody,
yes,
Stephanie, Rich, Ashley, Oscar, all of you guys, Merlin, every single body that watched the video, that gave love, even the people that threw the laughter emojis out there and all the love and
yeah,
all the support. Seriously, thank you guys. You guys could have been doing a million things today. It's Thursday. It's Thirsty Thursday. You don't even have to be home. You don't even have to have your cell phone,
yeah.
but you took the moment to watch this segment, and I truly, truly, truly appreciate every single one of you. Again, if you want to watch the trailer for Dissolve, that is coming out this year in 2018, Lord have it. It is facebook.com/DISSOLVED. Got 2016. If you want to learn more about Radio Silence OFF. That is facebook.com/Radio Silence OFF. And I hope to see everybody starting tomorrow at Bella Via for the Radio Silence casting call. It's going to be a great day. Whether it's 1 of you, 10 of you, 30 of you, 50 of you, 100 of you, we are going to make some magic happen, people.
All right, folks, that's it. I actually got to contact my clients and everything. They were messaging me while I was doing this and everything, so I got to touch bases with them and everything. Thank you, guys. That is it for the first edition of Random in 2018. Be on the lookout. This segment was literally random, so if this is a telltale sign of what's to come in 2018, you're going to have fun and you're going to be entertained, uplifted, motivated, encouraged, and like my slogan says, awaken, experience, and showcase. And that's what I did with Jon Brunson today. Awaken, he's experienced, and he's showcased. All right, folks, that's it. It's over. If you want to watch it, go on my YouTube channel. All right, that's it. We got to go.
Or just wait. Facebook will replay it, and you can go back and watch it that way too.
All right, folks. Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone watching.
Adrian, thank you. Everybody for watching, thank you. Yes. Everybody, have a great day and make magic happen.
All right, that's it. We're done.